righty. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, we got it. I don't even need to tell them. We've got video access here. We are absolutely live. We've got, I don't know how many screens that we've got set up over here. So we've got all kind of stuff set up over here. And there we go. Anyway, happy Easter, everybody. And I want to wish everybody who's on here right now a happy Easter. I know a lot of you are on through our Facebook Live. A lot of you are on through Zoom. Some of you are on through Earlene's Zoom. And I'm actually going to tap in here.
No, this is Facebook.
Through Earlene's Facebook. So I'm going to tap in here to Facebook here. We'll give everybody a moment coming on here. And we will be getting started. Now, for those of you who are on live right now with through my Facebook official, you probably don't even see a title for what this is called. But anyway, it's From Our Home to Yours. And we'll be getting started. Stay on just for a moment, kind of give you guys a little explanation as to what you're going to be in tune for today. But let me go ahead and get live here on this one as well. And we are ready to rock. Okay, I see it. There we go. Okay, let me turn the volume down over here. And I think we are good. So this is the one I'll be able to check for questions and all kind of stuff like that. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
How y'all doing today? Good. Happy Resurrection Day. Some of you putting in there right now. Thank you guys for coming back again. Holton Bugs here and Earlene Bugs. If you don't know who we are anyway, that's our name. And welcome back to From Our Home to Yours. And we know many of you out there right now celebrating all over the world, Resurrection Day, Easter, whatever it is that you use the term to celebrate it or recognizing it. We just want to wish you a happy holiday and happy Easter from our home to yours. And thank you guys for coming back.
Yes, thank you.
This has been pretty cool. 3 weeks in a row so far.
Yay.
Our third week. We haven't gotten kicked off the air. And I want to say, today I'm very excited to give you guys, 15 minutes. We'll be on, the 15 minutes that I get to talk of the hour. We'll be able to give you guys some great stuff today. I'll be looking forward to kind of getting my words in as sometimes when I pass the microphone or pass the camera, as we say, a star is born and they just go. That's just kind of how it normally goes. But anyway, today is going to be a little different. So I'll cautiously pass the microphone over to you right now to greet everyone. But I might have to come and snatch it right back, because sometimes we get, power or microphone or, we're looking at camera and we see all of those lights and stuff. And we kind of just go on. So.
Oh, so I'm microphone drunk now.
No, not yet. You're not microphone drunk yet. But after 45 minutes of taking up the hour, you're like microphone drunk at the end of the show. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? See, look at that. Somebody's putting up the fist.
Totally
They means that they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. Yep.
Well, welcome to our home, everybody. I'm so excited to be back. Today is actually a beautiful day. I'm looking out at the golf course. There is not a cloud in the sky. It's a gorgeous day for Resurrection Day. So for those of you who are believers out there, happy Easter to you.
Yeah, happy Easter. Happy Easter. And it is. It's. I don't know where you are. It's beautiful here. I saw somebody from Minnesota. It is snowing. I heard it's snowing in Minnesota. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're getting 6 to 8 inches in Minnesota today. You know what? Congratulations to you guys. If that's what you want, you move there. All right. You move there. You live there. So I guess that's what you want, right? Somebody said Colorado too.
Well, it's snowing in Colorado. Wow.
Snowing in Colorado. What's this? April? Yeah, this is April the 11th. And a lot of.
Actually, I think it's the 12th.
Somebody says raining. It's raining in South Carolina. Well, listen, it is beautiful. I wish I can turn the camera around and show you guys. I can't see one cloud in the sky right now. It's just like perfect weather. In Houston, we get, sometimes people don't understand Houston. We get probably about I'd say 2 to 3 months of what I call Southern California weather.
Yeah, that's true.
about 2 to 3 months a year, but it's spread out all over the time. So when it's wintertime, we'll get some nice cool breeze. When it's summertime, it'll get a nice cool breeze sometimes. Obviously in the springtime, it can get hot, and obviously summertime, it gets so hot you can go outside and your hair could melt.
True.
Okay, that's what's probably happening in mine, is melting over there. And it gets so humid here, you can go outside with a straw and drink the air. I mean, that's how bad it gets over there in terms of the humidity. But I'm really excited today. Today we want to, just reach out to you guys. For those of you who haven't been on the show before, 3 weeks ago we had an idea, and I want to go ahead and preface this because we have some new people who are on here right now, and we decided to come onto this show.
And by we, he means him. Just so I can be clear.
See,
he had an idea.
Well, okay, I'm trying to give you credit.
I don't need credit for that.
I'm trying to already, see, she's starting already. I'm trying to include us. See, I didn't take credit. Normally, I would say something like, here's what I did. But I didn't say the word I, because I'm saying we, as in E, as in team. You and me, the team.
Okay, we had an idea.
I had an idea. Since we ain't good enough, I had an idea. I had an idea 3 weeks ago, and because we said, well, people are sitting at home, no sports on. If you want to watch sports, you're going to watch reruns, and closest thing I came to sports is putting on, housekeepers and stuff, houses, nobody's washing my clothes on a regular basis like I really like them, so I had to go in deep and get my cowboy shirt, thinking that would get more viewers, since it's the world's and America's favorite team. But anyway, we decided we'd come on here and do a show, and it's just talking, and it's just from our home to yours. Now, what does that mean? And before we get into it, no fluff, no fluff, no hype, none of that stuff. Just want to come on and be real. No agenda. We're not on here selling anything or promoting anything at all. We just come on here talking to people, giving you guys a break from Netflix. She told me about a post somebody made that was hilarious. She read a post that said, well, I finished Netflix. How many of y'all have finished Netflix? Okay. All right. And so that's what we're doing. That we just come on here. We don't even get together and talk about what our agenda is going to be today. We come on. It's natural. It's real. It's authentic. And as we say, we're not politicians. We're not interviewing. We're not looking for a talk show or a TV show. And we can't be fired. So we're going to say what we want to say, and that's it. That's about how it goes, right?
Right.
And she takes up the majority of the time. So anyway, I know we didn't answer a lot of questions. Last week was a good session. Got a lot of feedback from it, and I noticed something last week.
What'd you notice?
I noticed that you ladies will stick together no matter what.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It's girl power. You can't be mad at that. That's not, it's a real thing.
But that's an agenda. We come on here, we say that there's going to be no agenda, but the girls will stick to. Even if y'all are wrong, y'all stick together.
Right. What does being wrong have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the
because
person?
Y'all supposed to be true. We get on here and we talk about truth, and you're supposed to be true. It's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be authentic. And y'all get on here, and I know here's what y'all thinking. She ain't right, but I'm gonna type "Go Girl" in the chats. Right? Go Girl, you get him, Earlene. I know that because last week I was asking for some more male support, and I got 3 more fans, 3 more guy fans.
You can't get mad because my girls are more loyal than your guys. I mean, it's a real thing. Girl power is a real thing.
Okay, all right. Well, we see that. But anyway, hi ladies, how we doing? Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna get in trouble because the first week y'all lit me up.
Nobody lit you up.
Y'all did. They were very unfair the first week. I thought they were very, but we're not going to go back.
You had no business on the golf course, so
Right.
That's what that was about.
But anyway, here's something. We talk about real. Let's be real. I'm gonna give y'all one of realism before we get into some stuff today. We're gonna get into some stuff today. Do y'all remember somebody talking about me waking up in the morning and looking at our BoomFit TV program, but they burst me out and saying I watched it from the bed? Yep. Well, guess who did it on Thursday?
Well, first of all, 7 o'clock is too early for me. Ask anybody. I don't.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't too early for you.
I have never said that I was going to be.
Yeah, but here's what I don't like. Here's what I didn't like. You bust me out last Sunday, and then 7. I wake you up. I get you up. Tap 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 tap. Get you up, babe. I'm about to go downstairs and go ahead and get my workout on. Boom fit. Great. I come back up. I'm down there working out like crazy. I mean, I'm down there. I'm almost dying because I'm doing some new stuff.
You deserve credit for that.
Right, but I'm almost dying. I can see on Facebook Live when somebody joins. So halfway through the workout, it says, Earlene Bugs is watching.
Okay,
So I'm like, okay, she got up. I'm like, okay, she got up. So I'm like, okay, she's got enough groove, she's got her stuff on, her gear on, and she's working out. And then here's what happens. What happens is, as soon as the workout was over, I run back upstairs because she's like, great workout, Mel. And I go back upstairs, and here she is, like this. Great workout, Mel. So she's laying in the bed, and I'm thinking that she worked out, and she didn't work out. And so that was you was perpetrating the fraud. You was fronting, like we said back in the day.
First of all, what does that have to do with the price of Manolos?
Well, it's got everything to do with you bust me out, and then you laying in the bed talking about great workout.
Yeah, because I was watching it, so I knew that she was doing a great job. I was trying to be supportive. Okay. You know, this is not a bad thing. And second of all, 7 o'clock is too early. I'm the type of person that likes to work out in the evening. So I did my Peloton or, you know, my 3-mile walk. I'm good. It's just too. It's too. Honestly, it's too
but
early.
don't be on all the chats fronting like you working out
because
when you go on and you leave messages to the people of the world, because these are people of the world working out, they think that you working. They think you in the fight with them. So don't be on there fronting like.
Raise your hand if you care about this.
These people care.
No, they do not care whether or not I was working out. You were the one trying to make it seem like you was working out.
No, because we in the fight over there. These people over here breaking their back, and my abs right now are still hurting. And then you sitting in the anyway.
And I have a lot of appreciation for that, but I'm not a morning person.
Okay.
So especially not 7 o'clock in the morning. If it was more like 9 o'clock, you know, I'd be first in line.
Well, anyway, for those of you who don't know, if you want to get fit, okay, if you want to get fit, another thing that we decide, can I say we?
It depends on what you're talking about.
Another thing that we decided to do to give back to other people is we have a workout channel that's called Boom. Can I say we decided that?
No, that was also you.
Okay. I decided, since I decide everything right here, we really decided to do a workout channel to get people fit, because you can't go to the gym and stuff like that. Everybody's sitting at home, finish Netflix. Everybody's, eating. She called me fat the other day. She told me I got fat. So I'm getting back into the groove of everything.
Some people don't have a good relationship with the truth. We're supposed to be coming on here to tell the truth. I'm just trying to help you out. And
people are loving it. We've got some great trainers, and we're going to be adding another. So 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. We actually do it on if you go to ibuumerang Facebook, it's on that channel, okay? But it's just a workout. It's not talking about business or anything. It's just a workout, so we have that workout. We're going to be adding something else. We're going to be doing a cooking show.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
And showing you how to, make meals while you're staying at home on a budget. Mm-hmm. Just simple stuff like that. But here's what we didn't do a lot of. We didn't do a lot of Q&A the first time. We took some questions. I know we've got a lot of hands that are raised right now. And so what we want to do today is really drive quite a few questions. Let me go here and see. All right, let's go here and drive some questions. Somebody said that they can't wait for the cooking show. I can't wait either. I wish today was on because I made some omelets today that were. Tell them about my omelets.
You're doing a great job. You know
No.
you grade your own
I
tests
don't know.
very well.
I don't want to talk about
all
myself.
A's. You give yourself all A's. No, you do a great job. Tell them how great you are, Holton.
No, I want you to tell them about my omelets.
I'm
You
going
ate
to-
my omelet. Just tell them what you
did.
thought.
No,
Just tell them.
but you go ahead and tell them how great you did.
But don't include me. How was the omelet?
It was great. It was really good. You did an excellent job on breakfast today. You really did. And I was very appreciative because I didn't have to cook this morning.
That's what I'm talking about. How about that, ladies? Do I get a thumbs up, ladies, for cooking breakfast
You
this
get a
morning?
thumbs up.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Let's take some questions now. I am going to look. I've got Mark Kithcart, who feeds me the questions that he's actually sifting and ciphering through.
So when we see here, where are the questions come from? Is
The
this
questions are
Zoom?
going to come on my phone here,
Okay.
on WhatsApp, and then you can take some questions right here if you want to, but they're going to come right through my WhatsApp. Okay. And you did not have to start boomerang. Okay, okay, now, here's what we'd love to do. So we have one question in here first, and I'll share with you what we really want to get to. And I don't mind taking all questions, but this first question says, you didn't have to start ibuumerang as an MLM company. Why did you?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. But you know what, guys? This from our home to yours, it's about anything. But we do want you to break away sometimes and not necessarily talk business. Because that's why we did this, because the workout is not about business. The cooking channel won't be about business. The book club that's going to come next week is not about business. And this wasn't to be about business. But we said, it's your show. You can do whatever you want, ask whatever question that you want to ask. Well, why did I start ibuumerang as an MLM company? Well, my answer for that was we've been in this industry up in, I think, 28 years, and honestly, I was very bored. I was bored, and I saw an industry that I felt that was going in the wrong direction. I felt that the way consumers buy, network marketing was going the opposite direction of how consumers were buying. What do I mean by that? If you remember a company called Blockbuster, and Blockbuster was started by Wayne Huizenga, and it was a Blockbuster. It was a huge company. And then this little company called Netflix that Blockbuster actually had a chance to buy came around and said, customers want more control. And Blockbuster, they didn't laugh, but their reaction to them was, you don't know what you're talking about. We're Blockbuster. Look how we've done billions of dollars. And so Netflix kind of said, okay, and nobody paid attention to them. And next thing you know, Netflix started to grow, and today you can't find a Blockbuster. Recorded today, I think there's only one Blockbuster store that's actually open, and that maybe that's for memory's sake or whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe you go there and get your Netflix subscription. I don't know. But that's kind of what I see happening with the network marketing industry. Customers are more intelligent. They have more information. They're smarter. They, in my opinion, customers don't want to buy products on an auto ship when they can go to an Amazon, don't pay a monthly subscription, get them cheaper, but don't have to, they can buy it when they want to buy it.
Right.
And so I thought, let's reverse the whole model, and let's not sell anything. Let's offer a benefit, and you don't have to pay me for that benefit. But I think if you give enough away that has value, you can also get compensated for it. And we wanted to leave our mark in terms of a legacy on the industry and redirect the way the industry was going to go. So that was the reason for starting. Plus, she had been telling me for a long time, you need to start your own company. So that's it there. Now, you got some. I want you to chime in. I want you to chime in.
Credit giving mood today, boy. This is
I want to give. I want to give credit. I want to give credit. Okay. Oh, here's a good. You want to chime in on that? You want me to read this question?
No, that was you did good.
Because so many men are intimidated by strong women. What advice can you give to single women who are boss chicks when awaiting to be caught? Whoo! What make you think they're waiting to be caught? Boss chick and waiting to be caught doesn't even go together. Boss chick, she's going out there and I'm gonna catch me something. All right. You want to take that, or is that a question for me? You think?
I honestly think that's a. I think you as a male can really chime in on that.
Okay, I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, you don't mind getting in trouble.
But
you can survive.
Okay, well let's talk about it. Is it that men are really intimidated by strong women?
I think a lot of men are. Absolutely, men are intimidated by women.
Or I want to answer that question. I don't know if it's his or hers. But anyway, are we really intimidated by strong women? Well, there's a balance, because I think some men are intimidated by strong women. But at the same time, here's the thing I want to bring up as well, is that some women overemphasize their strength and think men are intimidated. That's not the question, but that's the reality. And I'm not here just being on the men's side, but that's my viewpoint as well. It's kind of like women sometimes who want to be strong, and I'm a strong woman, and I'm not on just women. I'm just talking about how sometimes we overemphasize what and who we are. Like, I'll give you an example. I know some people don't like this, but like I said, I'm real honest with you. I don't like when people come to me and say, hey, listen, hey, HB or Mr. Buggs or Holton, whatever it is, when they try to do business with me and they approach me, letting me know, hey, I'm a Christian businessman. I'm just being, I run. When they come to me, hey, I'm a black businessman. I know you're black. Mm-hmm. Are you a good businessman?
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. I know you're female. Are you a good woman who happens to have strong characteristics? Instead of, I'm strong, I don't need anything, I don't, and I don't want to just make strong women into a bad thing, because my wife is a very strong woman, okay, very strong woman, and I ain't intimidated the least by you. I say it on camera.
Yeah, well, good, because I'm not attracted to a man that will be intimidated by me.
No, but anyway, what tips would I give? Number one, this is going to be some conversation, but I say be yourself, and I find so many people. Here's when relationships don't work. When you try to be someone else for the relationship, you're going to either forget who you tried to be, or you're going to actually forget who you are. You're going to forget one of those two.
Okay. That's good.
And so either way, down the relationship, down the road, you're going to forget something. The easiest thing for me to remember is who I am. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to play a role. I mean, what's your thought on this stuff there? Because you deal with a lot of women who talks about this stuff. So let's chat about this for a moment.
Well, first of all, I think as a strong woman, you don't necessarily want a man that will be intimidated by your strength. I think the right man understands that your strength is an asset to the relationship, because we all want to be with someone who is going to ride or die with us. Is going to ride during the good times and is not going to flake during the bad times or the challenging times. So I don't even know if I would necessarily be concerned about those men who would be challenged or intimidated or threatened in any way by my strength. At the same time, I do think that women can go off the deep end, and we sometimes lead with our strength, and that's not sexy at all. Sometimes there is also power in vulnerability. And being vulnerable just means that you expose the parts of yourself that you're usually trying so hard to hide. And typically when we lead with strength, it's a defense mechanism. It's we're trying to overcompensate for something. And so I have found that women, well, let me say it this way. I'm just going to speak for myself. I was always strong because I didn't feel I had a choice. You know, in my childhood, I had to make it through a lot of things. My dad not being around, my parents going through a divorce, you know, being raised in a single parent home. There wasn't always enough resources, you know, so I had to learn very early to rely on myself. And one of the reasons why I was so driven in life and especially in my marriage and keeping it together is because I didn't want to raise I didn't want to be a single parent. I didn't want to be a single mom. I wanted to raise my son in a two-parent home and actually show him what real love and commitment looked and felt like. So in my case, you know, I have found that a lot of women are not strong by choice. They are strong by, you know, because of their experience. And yes, it is a good thing, and it's great to have it when you need it, but there is also a lot of value in being able to be vulnerable and have somebody else catch you when you fall. So I feel that I'm very fortunate in a lot of ways because yes, the strength has served me in a lot of ways, but also being in a committed relationship has saved me from a lot of things as well. So, you know, it's tough. I understand it, you know, because you don't want to ever have to compromise who you are to maintain a relationship or to earn somebody else's approval. So if you're in that situation, knowing who you are and being confident in that is good enough, you know, and you've just got to keep moving forward until you find someone who is not intimidated by that strength, but actually understands that it's an asset to the relationship.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that's...
Did I take up too much time, sir?
See,
I mean, I just want to know because every time I get to talking, I feel like I'm on a timer or something.
no, I mean, we do. You need a timer, but I think you did okay. I think it was.
I'm so happy.
I think it was really, really good. And
Okay.
To add on to that, I remember when, you know, how my manhood really came out in our relationship. You know.
Do tell.
You want me to tell?
Do tell.
You really want me to tell that story?
Yes, I do.
I never forget. It was a time, you know, we had this heated argument. And sometimes, you know, a man got to put his foot down. And I put my foot down. And I never forget, she was on her knees, you know, just begging, please. I'll never forget it. Please, please. She was just begging and yelling and, you know, screaming, whatever it is, and on her knees, and she was just begging. Holton, if you don't get from up under that bed and come out and fight like a man. No, it didn't happen like that. But anyway.
I mean, surely you have something else to add to that. I mean, you come from a long line of strong women, as do I.
Listen, I you know, since this is wrong, we come from some strong back. My grandmother, listen, let me just keep it real. My grandmother, okay, my grandmother was a G. Some of y'all don't know what that is, but she was...
Why don't you explain that? What is a G?
A G, back in the hood, we would say a G is like a gangster.
A gangster.
Not a gangster, gangsta.
Somebody that's bout it.
Right. Gangsta, okay?
That's not afraid.
Right, not afraid. My grandmother, I'll never forget, we lived in the projects, Tampa, Florida, for so long. We moved out when I was 5 years old, and my grandmother was a bootlegger. She didn't make her own liquor. She just sold it without a license at her house, outside.
Total bootlegger. And it was, she did a community service, okay? She shot a couple of people, never went to jail.
And no, she shot 3, and all 3 of them were her boyfriends. So, that's strong. That's like a very strong, she was very opinionated. This is real true stuff too. So we come from a long line of strong women, but also strong men.
We are not supporting violence by any means, and his grandmother's deceased now, God rest her soul.
Right. And the 3 men she shot, they are also deceased.
She didn't kill him though, let me make that clear. She didn't kill him.
Well, I'm just being real. But they threatened her. They did, there was calls. She didn't shoot him, for target practice. She just shot him.
Yeah, it was self-defense, sure.
It was, they called her out of her name, and she said, she walked around with a purse and a gun all the time. that was really strong. I know we probably have kids watching this probably like, man, okay, I didn't know it was this bad. But yes, it's the real truth. But anyway, the biggest thing about strength is not when you exude strength. Normally, the weakest person in the relationship is the one who's talking about how strong they are.
That's a word.
Yeah. One of the things that I've learned about whether you're a man or a woman is strength is when you have quiet confidence.
Well, you don't have to make it known.
You don't have to be known. Yeah. You know, I'll never forget in one of my favorite movies by Denzel, when he was talking about his brother, you know, asking, do you want to be like Nicky Barnes? And he said, hey, listen, Frank, he said, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. And that's how I've always looked at it. I don't ever have to go out and brag about my accomplishments to show my strength as an entrepreneur. I've never had to recruit with my things. I think my strength is internal. Your strength is in your belief, it's internal. But when I've got to be loud or when I've got to exude force, it's normally a cover-up for something that's missing or something that's weak inside. And so I know sometimes even men or women, you know, the question was really what advice would you give? And I think I gave the advice, be yourself, just understand who you are. Know who it is that you want and know what it is that you want. And most importantly, you know what it is that your characteristic attracts. You know, and that's what you've got to do when it comes to relationships. But don't think that just because a person is loud or boastful or demanding that they're strong. Normally, it's a very low self-image that they have. Okay, let's go to another question here. How did you ask Mrs. Bugs out on the very first date? I'll never forget. 1986, October 31st, 1986. I don't know if that was our first date. It was our first kiss. It was Halloween, 1986, wasn't it? 86?
Yeah, we were 12. We were not allowed to date yet. We couldn't even talk on the phone.
Well, we did it.
I mean, I was 12. You were 13.
I know. Is your mom listening right now? She watching?
She might be. I don't know.
I don't know if she's watching. Did you ever tell her I used to come over to your house when she was at work? And I wasn't supposed to?
I'm pretty sure she knew.
No, I haven't said anything.
Well, I mean, you just told the whole world, so I'm pretty sure she knows now.
During the summertime, right? Anyway, we were young. She was 12, I was 13. And the first real date was I took her to remember we went to not Busch Gardens but Adventure Island.
I don't know what year that was.
And I think I have the picture. We bought these matching hats. Mine was red. Mine was green and black. Yours was red and black. And so I had to ask her mom because she was 12 years old and I was 13 years old. And so I asked her mom, could I take her to Adventure Island, which was it's like a water theme park. And that was the first date that we actually had. And then the second date was our homecoming dance.
Yeah, but what year was that? I'm pretty sure we were still at Horace Mann.
Yeah, that was 87.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was going into 1987. And so that's how that went. But what really used to happen and why we really stayed together, what happened is I didn't know that she really liked me. And so I used to be at PE, physical education, and I was at track practice. Y'all know it's true because she know what I'm about to say. And I would be out there with my shirt off, and she would bring girls. They would take bathroom breaks in their class to bring girls to watch me throw the discus with my shirt off. And there he is right there, the one with the shirt off. Is that true?
So
tell the truth.
So you think that when you keep telling this story that's gonna make it true?
But it's the truth, isn't it?
It is not true. That's not the whole truth, but okay.
Okay, it's not the whole truth, but it's partially true. All right, what is Mrs. Bug's favorite meal she prepares?
Favorite meal, probably my baked spaghetti. That's pretty good. that's a family favorite. They love my baked spaghetti. I'd say that's, and then maybe chicken and yellow rice would be a close second.
Yep. The baked spaghetti is off the hook. I mean, it's like one of the best. She made a dish the other day. It was the kale salad with kale chicken salad, and then she made a chicken salad 3 days later that we just crushed it. I mean, it was really, really, really good stuff. How have you turned off business mind to have date night or fun time? Can you turn it off? I'm gonna let her answer that first.
Yeah, that's always been a philosophy of ours. Family time is very important to both of us. So yes, we do make that a priority. And it hasn't been that difficult. At times it can be difficult only because maybe we were in the midst of launching ibuumerang, or we had some kind of really important project, and sometimes it'll suffer that way. But for the most part, we're pretty good about that and pretty consistent where that's concerned.
Yeah, well, I think what we've done is we've incorporated what we do and we make it fun.
That's true.
We do make it fun. I know some people may ask this because they try to have balance in their lives. And somebody asked that question before, and I'm just being candid with you. It's hard to have balance, real balance. If you got big dreams and big goals and you think you're going to be balanced, you forget it. Either forget your goals or, forget something, because it's not going to happen. I'm just being real with you, because most people want to know, okay, well, when you get up in the morning, tell us exactly what you do and how do you do this and how do you do that and what's the series for this and that. It doesn't work. It's kind of like somebody asked last week, how do we work together? We don't like it. We don't work together. We work on the same business.
First of all, he fires me every other week, and besides that, I can't work with him.
Some of y'all gonna ruin your marriage.
It's impossible.
Y'all trying to work this thing out, whereas she has her little role and you have yours, and y'all gonna, just go down the success aisle together happily ever after. You're gonna ruin that relationship. Some of y'all know how to do it. We just haven't figured it out yet. Okay.
No, the problem is you want to be the boss of everything. That's why we can't work together. This is what the truth is.
As bossy as you are,
I'm bossy.
You just told the world that you are my boss, the boss of the CEO.
I am. Somebody have to, because the problem is you go unchecked a lot of time. I'm the only one that can handle you. So
do you see why? So guys, listen, ladies, let me talk to the ladies. I need them on my side right now. Let me talk to the ladies right now. Okay, I'm looking you in the eyes right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, stop trying to make it work perfectly. It might not happen. Find what you do that you are good at, that makes you happy, that also makes a contribution to the total, and own it, and find something, hopefully, that he doesn't want to do either. And the same for you guys. The stuff that she's really good at, I'm not good at it, okay? And so she takes the role. She's the CEO of what she does.
Sure, look at the Lord. It only took 30 years for you to tell the truth about that.
I said of what you do. You can be the CEO, the president, the EEO, any O's you want to be.
EEO, what does that stand for?
Executive Earlene Officer, okay? You can be all of the O's and all the alphabet. Just don't come over here and mess with what I'm doing.
First of all, when was the last time I interfered in your business? I do not interfere.
Man, you wake up, you go to bed with things that you want me to do the very next morning. You give orders like all the time. So that's why I'm like, no, I run this over here. Over here, this lane over here, this is my lane. And over there, that's all her stuff.
You know what?
But you need to tell these people the truth. They're gonna wreck some of these people gonna wreck their marriage trying to think that everybody's supposed to be able to work together and sing kumbaya all the way to the finish line. That stuff don't work like that.
Yeah, I mean, Holton and I both have very strong personalities and very strong opinions on how things should go, and we have very different leadership styles. So we have found that the best thing for us is to separate out those duties. And so I have a team of people I work with, and I'm very happy with that because they get me, they understand my ebb and flow. And, you know, I'm the type of person that I don't like to micromanage. I like to work with self-starters and people who are very competent and good at their job. And so we found out that it's better for us to just separate those duties. So he doesn't handle my stuff and I don't handle his, and we've learned how to respect each other in that process. So that's kind of what worked for us. And I believe that there's a happy medium a lot of times, but sometimes it's just not, it's not going to work. And we always think we have to force it.
Yeah.
And you absolutely do not. Sometimes forcing it is the thing that drives everything to hell, to be honest with you. Some of you guys just need to recognize that it's not a good scenario and work on a solution that actually empowers both of you to do what you're good at.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being CEO. Please leave my stuff alone. Anyway, here's a question. Mr. and Mrs. Bugs, have you learned anything new about each other during the stay-at-home quarantine?
Yeah, have you learned anything?
No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Bugs. Mrs. Bugs, have you learned anything new? I'm just asking. So talk to America, talk to the world.
Have we learned? We've been together for
have you learned
have
anything new? About each other, about me? Or have you learned anything about you?
I haven't learned anything about you that I didn't already know, so no.
You know what?
It's the truth. What you want me to say? I've known you since I was 12. As a matter of fact, I know you better than you know yourself.
So you gonna answer her like that?
I mean, that's the truth. I wish I had a different. Why does the answer need to be different? The question was, since Corona, have I learned anything about you that I didn't already know? And the answer is no.
All this extra time you get to spend with me, and all the lessons I've been teaching you lately, and all that. So you haven't learned all that new stuff that we've been talking about? I
haven't learned anything new about. The question was, have I learned anything new about you? Now, I may have learned some new things about the world and about life, but no, I pretty much got a handle on who you are.
Okay, all right.
Now you answer the question.
Next, we got another question came in. That was an emergency question. How did you go about guiding your son in his decision making as he grew up? How do we go about guiding our son? I love these questions. And let me tell you why I love these questions. Because I've watched over the years people do these interviews, right? And they give all of these answers that are so profound and eloquent and perfect and put together. And then I had some kids, or I had a kid. And he's 22 years old, and we still are like, what did I do wrong? How did I mess that up? Now, he's not a bad kid. No, he's
really a great kid.
Yeah, he's really a good kid.
And the love of my life.
Yeah, he's the love of her life. Okay. No, he's the love of our life. But it's for those of you who are parents, guys, listen. This stuff is real.
These new kids, I'm still trying to figure out. I don't even know if it's a handbook that anybody has written, but these new kids are just different. They're different than how we were.
I can tell you this. I remember when he was in the 4th or 5th grade is when we made a decision. He was he's in private school all of his life. And he was in some school that was like, this boy is not going to be some academic genius. Not that he couldn't be if he didn't want to. But we looked at his skill set and we looked at who he was, and we pulled him out of that school because they had like homework. You remember he was at the village school? And he had homework like all the time. We're like, man, listen.
And it was more homework for the parents.
It was a lot for us.
This is a mess.
This is a mess. So we put him into another school that was designed for leadership. And the biggest thing that we impressed upon him was that we wanted to prepare him for leadership. And what we realized is that leadership is the highest paid profession in the world. You could always, I could own the hospital and never go to medical school. And so it's not the doctor that had the most successful career. And I recognize that if you're not guided to being a professional, why put him through preparing for that? And it's just like I thought about network marketing is outdated. I think our educational system is outdated. We're preparing kids and putting them through school, and the process of learning things is the same as when I was in school, but the world has changed. And so what we did is we prepared him for leadership. And we knew that if he was prepared for leadership, he would always find himself in the leadership position, being able to lead other people who necessarily didn't think as much of leadership. Maybe they thought of something else. But the most important thing was being able to find his match and come together with whoever it was. Not that he would be better than somebody else. We obviously want to put him in the best position, but we just did the best that we could. And we realized, I'll never forget when we had this, we had a situation that was like DEFCON 1, and we thought that we was like, what have we done? And this was a situation when we found out he was smoking weed. And
I knew you were, see, because everything that's wrong with a child is some kind of way it's my fault.
It was all her fault. It was all her fault. But anyway, we found out the boy was smoking weed.
And of course, I didn't know the difference between weed
and
crack.
She didn't know the difference between weed and methamphetamine. And she went ballistic. You ever seen The Exorcist, the head roll around? And so at that time, we're like, we did everything we could do. And then we start talking to other family members and friends who had kids our age. And we realized they kids smoking weed. And they got the same problem we got, right?
We're thinking we're the only ones. So let me add a little bit of something to that. I think the best thing you can do as a parent is to raise a good person. I wasn't so concerned about my son being a lawyer or a doctor. I didn't care about those kinds of things. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't care about him being valedictorian or anything like that. Some parents are so focused on what their kids do and not focused enough on who their kids are. And I was more concerned about raising a good person, somebody that could give something authentic to this world, and that he could find a way, because he's a lot like Holton in terms of his creative mind. And so the thing that I'm most proud of is that he's using his talents in an honest and decent way. I honestly didn't care what he chose to do, as long as it was something honest and decent. And so that I'm very proud of. The other thing is, I think that sometimes as parents, we have fears for our kids, we have hopes and dreams for our kids, but the issue is, it's not the same fears they have for themselves, and it's not the same hopes and dreams they have for themselves. We have to be careful about trying to decide for them who they're going to be and what they're going to do with their life.
Right.
As parents, we give life, but it's their life to decide what they do with it. And the only thing you have to be confident in knowing, you did the best you could. At every turn, I remember, we had one of the biggest fights we had with Trey, and, he was saying, oh, you guys missed so much of my life. You weren't there. You weren't, this and that. And I'm thinking, child, you have no idea what struggle is. You have your dad and I have sacrificed everything we knew to sacrifice so that you would never have to worry about some of the things that we had to worry about growing up. At the same time, that's exactly the reason why they have an opportunity to take certain things for granted. It's because of your sacrifice. And it's very difficult for people to appreciate things that they never had to sacrifice for.
That's right.
And I can remember as he was growing up, one of my biggest fears was raising a little rich, ungrateful, spoiled kid. because that's not the people that we are. We had to work for every single thing we got. And I'm proud to say, I'm proud to say he's not a brat. He's a good kid.
Not, right.
He's not entitled. You know, he's not, you know, a little bit spoiled. I mean, he's a little spoiled, but not obnoxious, and very mannerable. And so I do get so many great reports on Trey and how mannerable he is, how courteous he is, and those are things that make me more proud than somebody calling him doctor or, I don't know, governor or whatever. I just, you know, I think if I have to give any advice to parents, I think you have to learn how to accept your kids for who and what they are instead of what you want them to be. It's difficult because you make sacrifices thinking, you know, boy, if I had the opportunity, because here this kid has every opportunity imaginable, can go any school he wants to on the planet, and you know, you choose to go to music school that costs $30,000 a year or whatever. So, you know, but I'm just grateful that I am proud of the person that he is.
You know why he went to when he went to music school. This is what he said. He graduated from music school. He didn't go to his graduation because he was here, and he says, you know, we all prepared to go to his graduation ceremony.
His graduation from college.
His graduation from college.
Yeah.
And he didn't go to his graduation. And he says, man, we went out and bought this outfit and all of this stuff and blah, blah, blah.
But I keep thinking something happened. Was it the hurricane?
No, nothing happened. He was here, and then he didn't want to go. The boys told me, Dad, you know why I went to college? I said, why? He said, because that's the only way you were going to pay for my apartment. Otherwise, I wouldn't have went. This is the only reason he went. Because it was true. Either if you're in school, I'll pay for your bills. If you're not in school, you're gonna foot your own bills. So he went to school. It was like a job for him. But he's doing what he loves. He's doing what he loves. He makes music. He contributes to our business. You know, they're gonna make mistakes, and we just never got caught up on him trying to choose our path. I'll never forget, you know, just trying to prepare and trying to do as much as you can to prepare. And I talked to two of my mentors the same day. We were clashing, and in terms of this one subject we were clashing on. And I threw my hands up and I called my mentor, and two of them, and both of them called me back, and they had the exact same issue, exact same issue with their son. And they told me what to do and the mistakes that they made. And I followed what they were saying, and I saw the relationship, or that issue. Relationship has always been great, but that issue, you know, it's a hard issue because a father always wants his son to make sure he prepares his son to be a productive element of society. And, you know, but their example or their idea of what productive element is sometimes going to be different from yours. You got to let them fail. You got to let them fall flat on their face sometimes. And that's what we did. I didn't want to be the one, like she said, to go catch him every time he fails. And you know, you let him do that, and here's what you got to do. Trust you. Just trust that you sowed enough good seeds in them that they're going to be rooted. But everything that we plant always goes through a harsh winter. And so if you plant strong enough, it'll be okay. And so that's kind of the thought process behind that. Let's jump into a couple more questions here. And we're coming up to the top of the hour. Let's see what Mark Kithcart's got for us right now. Let's see what we've got here. Questions. When we travel again, where's your favorite personal trip in the world? Where do you want to go?
Well, I've been looking forward to going to Dubai because I've never been there. So,
yeah, Dubai. Looking forward to go to Dubai. We're going to Dubai. We're going to Morocco. We've never been there. I finally had a chance to go to Dubai, but it was a business trip, like literally business, so I didn't really get to like enjoy it. But we got some really cool stuff planned. So Dubai, Morocco, and we've got some trips to take. This year has been like this is like canceled trip. trip cancellation year.
Yeah.
You know, even the end of 2019, his last 12 months has been like, you know, we're all of these trips that we're supposed to go on, especially having travel as one component of our business, and we hadn't traveled anywhere. But
Right.
I can tell you right now, we're going to light it up. We are going to light that passport up like crazy. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. You know what I'm excited to see? I'm excited to see how similar the world becomes now around the world. Because you got all these different cultures.
How similar?
Yeah. Everywhere we go is always different. You know, we go to Italy and it's different. You go to Asia, it's different. We go to China, Korea, it's different. You know, all over the world we've gone. It's always unique and different. And I'm sure cultures will always hold. But now, since this little issue, I'm looking to see how the world comes together and becomes similar. Even though I enjoy the differences, I'm wondering how much of a stronghold. I'm interested, you know, not that I want to see it, but I'm interested to see the stronghold that this pandemic has placed on the world. And I just kind of want to see what takes place, what happens. I don't know. I'm just curious. I just want to see what happens and what takes place there. Somebody had a question there. Have you considered going to Barbados? Somebody said Marrakesh, Barbados. The world will not be as we know. I know, you're right. The world will not be as we know. That world is done. It's gone. It's over. But I'm looking to see what customs take place. Will there ever again be a culture of anybody shaking hands? Ever?
And kissing even.
Yeah.
What about the culture?
Right. You know, we go to Italy, we go to Europe, and they do
Some places do 3 kisses.
Some people do 2, some people do 3 kisses.
Yeah.
Some people kiss the hand. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know.
Right.
We don't know. We have no idea.
Will we become a less affectionate society because of all of this?
Somebody says, how do you keep your relationship from going stale? We fight. Right? If you fight and argue and make up and... No, I'll let you answer that one.
How do we keep it from going stale?
Yeah.
You just have to be 2 interesting individuals. And I mean, you have to work at it because, you know, I mean, we've been together a long time and, you know, it's easy to get complacent. You know, it's easy to stop trying and take certain things for granted. And, you know, a relationship takes a lot of work and especially the right kind of communication. It's not easy, you know, it really isn't. And, you know, for those of you who are married out there and you're trying to crack the code on marriage, honey, let me tell you something. There is no code.
There's no code. There's no code.
There is no code. It's hard, people, okay? It's hard, but you know, I mean, when you're with the right person and you are committed to becoming the right person, you can make it work.
Yeah, and I think you stay interesting because the world changes, and you got to remember, you know, we met. She was 12, I was 13. She's not the same 12-year-old.
Right.
Okay. When she was 15, she had changed, and then when she was 19, she had changed, and when she was 25, she had changed. You know, and I had changed, and and I realized that now the older we get, the more we change. Do you know why? Because when you were younger, you were trying to perfect that lie that you told yourself of who you were. And you were trying to consistently live that out, and whatever that lie is. And that lie could be whoever had authority over you and you were trying to impress them or whatever it may have been. But today, you know, we change more because once we became free and we recognize that we're not going to give control to anyone else but ourselves. Now we're able to explore ourselves more, and so we become more interesting and we have different interests more rapidly than we did early on. And so I think that's one of the ways to do it as well. Stay interesting. What's been the glue that has kept you and Earlene together since you both were so young?
Well, it's called commitment. I mean, we did.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to keep her, okay? But no, I mean, it's commitment. I mean, you know, and the thing of it is, I think that sometimes we get too caught up on being happy. You know, happiness can be cyclical.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that's a constant. You know, it's something that you have to work on. It's a philosophy. It's a certain way you live your life. But you know, life gets tough, and you know, you've got to continue to roll with the punches, and you've got to recommit. You know, I feel like if it was something that was easy to do, we would need to make a covenant. You know, there's no reason we would need to stand before God and say, I do, or whatever, until death do us part. You know, he made us do that because he knew we would quit. And, you know, I just think going into it, you have to realize that marriage is commitment, and there's going to be all kinds of highs and lows, but you can get to a place where you can perfect your ebb and flow, and we're kind of at that place. We've been together for a while. And we actually like each other. That's another thing. Sometimes people are just with a person they can't stand, and you know, it's very disappointing sometimes to see relationships like that, or you're just together for the kids. There's no love. And those of you who are together for the kids, trust me, all you are doing is teaching your kids how to be in a relationship where there is no love and respect. You know, staying together for the kids is not a good reason, unless you commit to loving and to showing your kids what love and what commitment looks like, and not just what proxemics and geography looks like. Right. So you can be in the same relationship and in the same home, but it doesn't mean you're in a marriage. So you know, that's just my opinion on that.
I agree. I think my parting shot here is you know, during the time I asked her to marry me, I made one decision. And that one decision was to marry her and to love her, and to be devoted to her. And my job is to manage that one decision. Okay, so I only have one decision to manage, and so I've never had to redecide again to marry or redecide to love. I've just always had to make a decision, and I've managed that decision for 25 years now, married? 25. 26 years?
27.
27 years?
Yes.
See there? You make me feel younger. See, it ain't been that long. 27 years we've been married. So I've just managed that decision for 27 years. So, well, anyway, guys, as usual, she takes up the majority of the time at the end. And we are closing this hour from our home to yours. And you have 20 seconds to say something, and then the button is going to close. So I'm going to give you 20 seconds to say something.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. We know that this is generally a time for family, and for those of you who stuck in there for the whole hour, we appreciate you so much. So I love you, and see you next week.
See you guys next week. Happy Easter. Thank you guys. We love you. Stay safe. Stay committed. Stay happy. Happiness is a decision. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye-bye.